So the next concept is two-dimensional lists. So this is basically like nested for loop. So it's basically whenever you have a list, when a list contains another list as its elements, then it is called as a two-dimensional list, also known as nested list. So this also has the same terminology as rows and columns. So this is useful when you are working with multiple sets of data. So when you are working with two-dimensional lists, you will need two indexes. Sorry. So this is typically used to process loops. And then we typically use nested loops to process two-dimensional lists as well. So I think we have examples here. So you have students is equal to, notice this, you are first opening and closing the bracket for your list. But each element inside your list is also a list with two elements. So Joe Kim is your first list, which is your first element, which has index 0, that is the outer index is 0. And then Sam Sue is your second element, which has two elements again. And this Sam Sue itself will have the outer index as 1. And next, Kelly Chris is your third element, which has the outer index as 2. And also this has two different elements. So when I'm like, let's say I want to access just Joe, or let's say I only want to target Joe in this case, then the index of Joe will be 0, 0, right? Because Joe Kim is your first element, which has index 0, and Joe is the first element of your first element. So it's basically first element of your list. So inner list will have the first element Joe Kim. So that's the reason why the Joe will have the index 0. The inner index will be 0. So if I want to access Joe, then I will be using 0, 0. We'll see how that works in a better example. So for now, if I just have print students, so this is my entire list. If I just print students with 0 as my index, I'll just see Joe Kim. If I print students with 1 as my index, then I'll see Sam Sue. If I print students with 2 as my index, then I'll see Kelly Chris. So let's take a look at this example for better understanding of two-dimensional lists. So here I'm basically asking you to assign random numbers to a two-dimensional list, and I have specified the rows and columns as well. So let's say I have specified the rows to 3 and columns to 4. So, and the first thing that I'm going to do is inside my main function, I'm going to create a list. I'm just calling it values here with 3 rows and 4 columns. So I have 3 rows, 4 columns. So understanding this with respect to rows and columns will make things a lot more easier. So notice this, I have the first element is my first element has 4 elements. My second element also has 4 elements. My third element also has 4 elements, right? I'm basically asking you to create a two-dimensional list with the outer list elements being 3 and the inner list elements being 4. So rows are outer list elements, columns are inner list elements. Now, if I want to fill random values for this list, whenever you see the word random, then that is a hint for you to use the random module. That is from previous chapter. So if you are not familiar with that, go back to the previous chapters and then brush up the basics of random usage of the random module. So that's the reason why I first imported the random module. Okay, so now for R in range of rows, next for C in range of columns, I am using 2 of my indices, which are R and C. R is for the outer, how do I say this? R is for the elements of my outer list, and C is the element index for the elements of my inner list. So values RC is equal to random.randint 1, 100. Print values. So for the first iteration, values will be 0 and 0, right? R is 0 and C is 0. So just assigning random value. So let's say it is 4 in this from this execution, from this output. So your first value 4 will be here. Instead of 0, you are replacing first value, that is 4. Now we do know that for the nested loops, the outer loop will execute once, like will iterate once for all the iterations of the inner loop, right? So that means your R value will still be 0, but your C value is now 1. So when it is values 0, 1, we are going to talk about the second element of your first element. So that is, here it is 17, now it is 4, 17. Next, R is still 0, column is now 2. So that is third element, which has value 34. R is now 0, column value is 3. So that is your fourth element, which is 24. Now after this, there are no more possibilities for C, right? Because we only have 4 elements. So after, as there are no more possibilities for C, R value is now iterated once. So now R value is 1, C value is 0. So for 1 and 0, so that is your second element, first element, like second element, first inner element. So that is this second row, first column. 46 is a randomly assigned value. Next, it is now going to execute for all the inner iterations, right? So now you have 1 and 1, that is this 0. And now that is equal to 21. 1 and 2. So that is this, that is 54. 1 and 3. That is this 0, which is 10. Now, after all the possible values of C, the R values are iterated. Now the R values is 2. So you have 2, again 0, next 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. After all the possible values of C, you are now checking if there is any possibility to iterate R value. As there are no more possibilities of iteration of R values, you are just coming out of the loop. That is how the basic working of a nested for loop is. When you print the values, this is your output. So this is basic, like, lists are very easy to understand, and these are very basic. We are just bringing all the concepts together. That's it. Okay. So in the next video, we'll be talking about tuples, which are also types of sequences, and we'll see how that is different from lists.